I was recently reflecting on my high school days, and for lack of better words, it wasn't as fruity as I sometimes remember it being. So, just diving straight into it, I'll tell you my story in a bit, but I have two Discord server links below. One is like my brotherhood, that's my general community, but then I also have like a help server. Join that if you need like help, and I'll try my best to respond, but I hope like some other people also join that so they can also help you. If you want like more immediate responses though, also comment down below. Again, I'll probably try to respond to those, but if I don't, another man who has like similar experiences to you might be able to help you there. Nonetheless, I will, honestly, this from my heart, try to assist you in the best way I can and as immediately as possible. Now, going back to my like unfruity story and all of that, it hits a point recently where you kind of forget because of like how much progress you make and how like your mental state has improved over time, how things used to be. I was recently reflecting, and I remember I was struggling like socially, not in the sense I didn't have friends or anything like that, but my social life isn't what I would have wanted it to be without any doubt. My love life was non-existent at a point, and just generally speaking, I wasn't feeling happy. I know you might have like some academic problems and all of that. I will be making videos quite soon actually on how to excel academically, because that fortunately is one area that I've always had more or less under the belt. But I remember from like a social perspective, I was socially awkward, not like extreme extent, but it was a matter of I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. So it probably wasn't that visible to the outside people, but within myself I knew I wasn't quite socially there. But most importantly, like my love life and relationships, at least like between the ages of, I would say 13 to 16, was far from what I would have wanted it to be. I remember there was actually a point in time, well, this would have been closer to 12, 13, where I made this lie at school that I was dating this one girl in my very class when I wasn't dating, and that obviously blew up in my face quite quickly in the sense that people there also started asking, are you guys dating, and all of that. So obviously I looked like a fool, but no, it came out okay, and I apologized to her. And I mean, we're young, we're still figuring out life, but just give you like a short idea of the sort of things that I would not say went through, because I actually put that on myself, to be perfectly honest. But the sort of things that I can help you with. I also remember I was like your stereotypical simp. I mean, still till this day, I am what I consider a good guy rather than a nice guy. I don't think there's any problems being a good guy, but that's drifting to another matter that I spoke about in many other videos. And if you want specific advice with that, again, Discord server or comments down below. I will make more like generic videos as and when I think some like important information came to mind, as it has in this video. So I do want to now talk about how I got out of that state though. And it's easy to say self-development did help me, and it is what's helped me the most, without a doubt. But I want to talk about the specific practices that helped me. And this would be things like working out, learning game. So what I mean by learning game is know how to like create spikes in the opposite sex. So you hear this advice often, actually. This is a video I'm going to make soon. But don't pretend like you're friends or just like try and win her over, because that's not going to work. I hope you know that by now, but if you don't, take it from me, a guy who was in that state for probably about 3 or 4 years in my life, where I kept trying to apply that same tactic, and it unfortunately doesn't work. I understand your perspective of oftentimes you don't even know that you like the girl until you're like close to her, and that's where I was for many years as well. But other times it's just a matter of, well, friendship is the foundation to a relationship, and I understand that. But it's not quite how it works, and again, I'll dive into the reasoning behind that in a different video. It's a very deep topic actually. But in a nutshell, you want to be in a position where there's like this natural spark between you guys. And that spark doesn't really exist between friends. In some cases it does, but most of the time it doesn't. So like the girl I'm currently dating now, and have been dating for a very long time now, I would say that, I don't know, we were like somewhat friends, but not really. We were acquaintances that spoke now and then, and jokes aside, there was a spark throughout. It was one of those things, and oddly enough, I was actually later to realize I smoked than her, and that was just me being oblivious to everything, to be quite honest. But I'm just giving you a quick recap of the sort of things I had. Another one that comes to mind is I had this crush on this girl for about a year or so, and frankly, we would have dated had I asked out sooner. It was one of those situations where she told me openly she actually was interested in me, but kind of thought that I was a bit reluctant and hesitant, and she was 100% right about that. In asking her out, and that wasn't like a green flag for her. She was like a very mature girl, like understood things that at that stage I actually hadn't. So like this is the sort of things that I had, and I was like the high school shrink, so like I was helping people and giving them advice, kind of like what I'm doing on YouTube now, but more like milder form of what I'm doing now. But nonetheless, I think this gives you like a nice recap of the sort of things I can help you with. And another thing I actually just forgot I didn't mention. I don't like talking about this, but I think it helps you more if you understand this. My parents haven't really been, at any point in my life, very, like they're a loving couple sort of thing. They're both good people as individuals, but they didn't work well as a couple. So that obviously has had its own impact on like my mental health and the way I approach life in general. Of course, that sets actually a good foundation for me to grow from and develop in all of that good stuff. So in the long run, it was good. But of course, in the earlier stage of my life, especially like 13 to 18, where you're still learning about the world, and till this day, I mean, I'm still learning about the world, but 13 to 18, you're like getting your main ideas about the world. And then obviously not having that like secure foundation does cause some problems. So again, you have any of those sort of problems and you relate to my story, comment down below, check the Discord server, or frankly, just get onto self-development. What I mean by that is specific practices is like working out, meditation, and gratitude journaling. Those are the three that I think will help you most. Of course, different people need different things in self-development, but I think for now that's a good starting point for you. I do urge you to look into religion as well. That's a new phase that I'm diving into myself, but I'll be making more videos on that very shortly. Come along for the journey, I'll help you out with that. Well, with that said, brother, I'll see you in the next one to become a better and stronger man.